Let's speak to Yatsenyuk, former Prime Minister of Ukraine. Good evening. Thanks very much for being with us once again. And I know we've talked about this recently, about what was going to happen. We know now what will happen. What do you think of it?
Well, I think that the Oval Office watched not only Fox News. I believe that they watch you, Mark, too, because that's the exact thing that we've been talking about a few days ago. I said that, look, the most important issue is whether the Oval Office is ready to supply more ammo. And today we witnessed a real breakthrough. I consider this as a U-turn or about-face. So my gut feeling is that President Trump has realized that Putin not only just overstepped, but that Putin wanted to cheat him and to deceive him. And one of the most important issues when what President Trump raised during this press conference with Secretary General Rutte, he said that Putin fooled everyone, I mean, his predecessors, but he will not fool me. So it means that he is taking this personally. And he has realized that Putin is a bully, and he doesn't want to be humiliated by this designated war criminal. So what we have on the table, we have the U.S. decision to sell ammo to NATO. And let me remind you that during the previous administration, it was a joint decision of the entire Western world to hand over to NATO a kind of driver's seat in the decision-making process, what to supply and how to supply to Ukraine. So NATO right now is in the driver's seat. Americans are ready to sell this ammunition to NATO. Europeans and NATO member states, except the US, are ready to pay for this, and this is the real breakthrough. That's my take.
Right. I mean, but also the sanctions, this threat of sanctions, and secondary sanctions as well, which Russia has always said they would react against. Now, he's given them this breathing space of 50 days. Do you think it needs 50 days, or do you think he should be saying, come to the table now, or there will be sanctions?
Well, frankly speaking, I wish to have this sanction imposed today or a day or yesterday. But the thing is that, look, I don't want to exaggerate the importance of these sanctions and this particular juncture. So what is needed? Ammunition, ammo, and ammo. Yeah. And that's what we have on the table. The next step would be secondary sanctions. So my gut feeling is that the House and the Senate will move with its sanction package. Because Trump wasn't clear answering the question whether he green-lighted the Senate decision to pass a special bill to impose secondary sanctions, but it seems that he is ready actually to accept this.
Do you think it's enough to bring Putin to the negotiating table?
I don't believe that this bastard is ready to negotiate, frankly speaking. But what I believe that it's enough to help Ukraine to fight. It is enough to help Ukraine to preserve its statehood. It is enough to help Ukraine to win this fight. Once again, it depends on the deliverables. So now we have a kind of statements. But I believe that these statements will be underpinned by clear-cut deliverables.
I mean, do you think that this is about just holding things as they are militarily so that negotiations are more likely? Or do you think there is still a way that Ukraine could eventually down the road force the Russians out? Or do you think it is about holding things as they are?
It's both. On the one hand, this will definitely upgrade Ukraine's war chest, military chest, and we will have more tools in our chest and more influence, and this will severely affect and severely degrade Russian military in case if we get an additional ammunition and air defense systems. On the other hand, I can hardly imagine the reason why Putin will back down. The only reason is a very strong Ukrainian military and strong unity of all NATO member states. And let me remind you that during this press conference, Trump, for the first time actually, during his second term, clearly mentioned that he believes that he needs strong Europe. And this is a clear signal to designated war criminal Putin that it seems to me that we have a kind of renaissance of NATO member states, a kind of renaissance and new strong detente between the US and European member states.
Right. So just finally, do you see a case then for using Russia's frozen assets to finance more weaponry for Ukraine? I mean, at the moment, I think it's the interest is being used. But I mean, is there a case, do you think, for using that money which is in European banks?
I strongly advocated this case, and I even published an article, an opinion in FT with a number of global experts and global leaders. So I believe that we have enough legal grounds not only to seize, but to confiscate Russian assets of $300 billion that are allocated in Brussels, and we have to do this.
OK. Yatsenyuk, thanks very much indeed for
Thank you.
being on the programme. Thank you.